Hello, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Force Commander's Guide to Purging Nurgle. I'm Jade Star, joined as always by my favorite friend who, despite all reasonable expectations to the contrary, isn't naturally buoyant. Polish.
I'm shocked that you remember that. I was going to say I wasn't sure if ice cream actually floated, and then I realized, of course it does. That's how you get an ice cream float.
So we finished Tides of Escalation. It's a fun little thing. It makes the blooms suck slightly less. Now every time there's a bloom surge, the knights gain 1 willpower. It's great. Bloom suppression, which we're researching now, means the bloom O-meter will go up by 5% less a turn. Also pretty great, and can be upgraded further.
Uh-oh. Warp storm.
Warning. Unstable warp manifestation imminent. Plotting alternative course.
That route will delay us substantially, Commander.
Driving directly through this storm would be folly, even if the ship were fully repaired.
We need not strike forward blindly. There are null pockets even within the warp. There is an ancient text in the Libris that could help guide us through.
Commander, this is a hazardous path, the Inquisitor suggests. Even our Grand Masters do not tread carelessly in the warp.
Interesting decision.
Yeah, if I wasn't en route to a blue mission right now, I would just avoid it and be delayed by 3 days. That's the safest thing. But the mission will time out if we do
Releasing
that.
navigation authority to the Inquisitor. Embarking on a new course.
It's really important to get the missions before they go away.
Yeah.
The Geller field has sustained minimal damage. The Edict has passed the storm safely.
What did I tell you, Hector? If you would excuse me, I must go recuperate.
So
The dialogue and the concepts there,
Yeah.
it's like, she's just really tired. But
Yeah.
is she 20 days worth tired?
Maybe? Like, do you know how psychers work? I was just checking. It also doesn't affect research rate. It just means our stratagems are locked.
Yeah.
Does kind of suck, but better than missing out on this mission.
Well, this is basically a free deed. You should be aiming to do this anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get someone knocked out.
Not having what is it, Gates of Infinity and Quicksilver is gonna suck a little bit, but this should be a fairly easy one.
Alright, who are we bringing this time? Obviously not Storm.
No. So I think I want to. Bring Devorn.
I mean, you do run your interceptors a little bit rough.
Yeah. They are most likely the ones to take ship damage just because they're the ones that are going to be out front the most.
Yeah, you teleport them up front.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Good name for Purgador. Storied name.
I was trying to figure out which one has the intrinsic trait, and to some extent, I've mentioned those, I really wanted to get the right intrinsic traits on the guys and sort it out and kind of swap and farm. And just at some point, either you really need to take better notes mentally than I do, or you need to just accept that you're not gonna get the perfect min-maxed dudes.
I mean, to some extent, you could look for okay, I'm looking for this specific trait for Purgador, or more likely these specific traits, and build accordingly.
Yeah.
But also, the game doesn't really provide a good way for you to do that.
I
Short of
recognize this
just
place.
burning
A
requisition.
Blaxius.
Yeah.
A showcase for the worst the Ministorum has on offer. It was not long ago I executed the governor and his entire staff for heresy.
And yet the bloom has found the means to insinuate itself and fester. We must destroy its source below.
I like the idea that Vakir is just traveling around this general region of space, just executing entire bureaucratic offices.
That's more or less what Inquisitors do. They essentially have a blank check to do whatever.
It seems, I guess, a little wasteful, but also severe for a just single-handed authority.
I mean, welcome to the Inquisition.
Yeah.
They're one of the few people who have the rights to do exterminatus if they think so, and nobody on the ground is going to be able to say, no, you can't exterminatus us.
Well, not for long.
I mean, even other Inquisitors can't really stop them. All they can do is censure them after the fact. Of course, being
Yes,
a
Commander.
censured Inquisitor is not exactly great.
What does that even
Guard up.
do or mean? Help me out with
I mean,
that
if they strip you of your inquisitorial
Give me
powers,
a target.
the authority, and basically declare you an excommunicated heretic, then you have other Inquisitors coming after you.
one. Oh, that actually seems kind of bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Commander. I am here to
But I
serve.
mean, in general, most of the time, who's going to stop them? The planet that just got blown up? What are they going to say? Oh, this Inquisitor,
What is your will?
you know, we totally didn't fall into chaos.
On the way.
I mean, there are some asshole Inquisitors like that. Like
Ready yourselves.
the one that had the hate on for Space Marine protagonist man.
Yeah, the one from Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they get away with it largely because who's going to second guess an Inquisitor? They have the
command.
authority to blow up planets, like on their own recognizance. Boop.
I mean, it seems like pissing off like
Another
a Space
seed.
Marine captain could lead the conflict,
At
but
your command.
I guess they're still just high enough above that no one's going to really rally against a particularly disagreeable Inquisitor.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. Refusing to cooperate with an Inquisitor gets you declared excommunicated. Because, well, you're not allowed to refuse to cooperate with Inquisitors. So it's a bit of a catch-22.
Right.
Like, even if the Inquisition is clearly and obviously fucking up, pretty much the only thing you can do is find another Inquisitor nearby, appeal to them, and, you know, hope that they
Weapons ready.
intervene sometime in the nearest decade. So, yeah, tons of abuses of inquisitorial power.
Well, if the response time is that far away, why don't you just, you know, arrange for the Inquisitor to have an accident, and then, like, who's going to know?
I mean, there is sort of the problem where Inquisitors often have their own retinue, which can include things like Psychers who can give a message off.
Oh, okay.
Like, ambushing an Inquisitor, if anybody finds out about it, and reports that you ambushed an Inquisitor and killed everybody before they, you know, basically trying to hide what you did,
Yeah.
kind of looks like a chaos thing to do.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
Precision
yeah,
target locked
something
in.
of a catch-22.
Yeah.
Also, love the range.
Ammunition depleted.
Yeah.
Critical hits. Just shooting people's gun arms off.
It's so good. I really enjoy precision targeting just as a mechanic. Like, I mean, yes, the Vindicator does it to an extreme,
Commander.
but I think it's a really cool feature just in general. It's, you know, it's weird to say, but I think it does it better than Phoenix Point. Because in Phoenix Point, you would aim and you would hit random body parts, and if like a leg got blacked, your movement went down. If an arm got taken out, you couldn't use like a two-handed weapon, which usually meant all of your soldiers were suddenly useless and couldn't use a rifle.
Well, Phoenix Point is the big thing is that the concept sounds really cool, and then it just didn't have enough time in the oven. It wasn't
for
very well
targets.
baked.
Yeah. Like, I really like the idea of the locational damage and everything, but in practice, it didn't work out nearly as well as you'd conceptualize. I think I agree with you there.
Yeah.
There's less, like, there's not, like, sectional damage in this, but the critical hits allowing you to add an effect of a type or something like that. I really like that. It's nice. It makes critical hits feel like way more important than just, you know, +2 damage.
Yeah, one of the things I think that makes this work better is that when you get a crit, you have the crit. You're not like trying to shoot for the gun arm and then hoping that you hit it.
Right.
It's just you do a regular attack, and then you get the option to do locational damage, or like with a melee attack.
Yeah. It's not like
most
called
of your
shots,
attack
Mech Warrior style, where it's
Yeah.
really taking a detriment to your ability to just land a normal hit for the hope of
And-
getting a targeted hit.
And then the other thing is, you get a number of choices. Usually one of those choices is +1 stun damage.
Yeah.
And then a limited specific number of choices depending on the thing that you're fighting.
At once.
So, like Cultists, you get stun damage or remove the arm. And sure, remove the
fire
arm
when
to
ready.
turn off their guns is probably the better option for the
Yeah.
most part. But
Can't see me.
like with the various other demons, disabling certain attacks is great and useful. There's usually going to be a best one, but it does something that is meaningful every time you get you get the option to pick to do something with a crit.
Yeah.
That wasn't really the case in Phoenix Point. In Phoenix Point, if you were doing the selective targeting, it was because shooting at anything other than this one thing was less effective.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't take like a useful shot and then add a bonus thing. You were taking the chance of making a useful shot at all.
Right, because of all the chitness stuff.
Yeah. I feel like to a certain extent, you look at something like Helldivers, which has quite a lot of locational damage, which is a very different type of game.
Yeah.
And Helldivers has some areas are much better to shoot than others. But that's a game that encourages you to specifically target the most vulnerable point for whatever weapon you're using.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And it works out better in that way. In Phoenix Point, that target the most vulnerable point
Mark acquired.
doesn't really work out because you don't have that kind of control.
Right. I was gonna
Sometimes
say,
you just
like,
get screwed out of it.
you're comparing like an FPS to or third person, whatever. You're comparing a direct control shooter where the accuracy of your unit or gun is you and your ability. So it's a skill based thing as opposed to percentile based or cone of fire based with Phoenix Point or XCOM or Chaos Gate.
Right.
Yeah.
But the same general concept, which doesn't work in Phoenix Point, actually works pretty well because it's in a different paradigm.
Yeah.
Taste my fury. Han.
But also because, just kind of in just the environment it's in, being like a real time first person, third person thing. Like shooting a leg
Praise
off
the
of an
Emperor.
arachnid, it slows it
It
down,
will be
which
done.
really matters. But like, I've taken 2 tiles of movement off of this crab squiggler thing, and Phoenix Point's like, eh.
I mean, okay, it moves slightly less close to you before shooting you, and
Yeah.
taking off the arm of your sniper who can now no longer use his weapon because that locational damage also applies to you, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So this is not like
What is your
The-
will?
I mean, it wasn't like a double activation. That was reinforcements coming in.
Right.
Target
But-
acquired.
It looks worse than it is.
It is.
That is a
finished.
thing I find a lot with Chaos Gate, is that at the start of combat, I pretty much never like turn 1. Because it's like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of them, well, at least with Cultists, especially when I'm outnumbered. I hate being outnumbered more than I hate being outgunned. It is always worse being outnumbered. Like, when there's 8 Cultists, I would much rather just have, like, 3 Marines, 3 Death Guards. And so it's just like, this looks bad, they're everywhere, they're here, they're here, and I'm just thinking like, okay, this, I explode that, use the Vindicare to take care of the suppression
I am
fire.
here to serve.
But you just kind of think through it, and as you act through it, you start realizing, okay, well, these guys are dealt with, there's nobody here. Like the 1, 2, 3, 4 guys up to the left, top left of the screen, don't really have anywhere to advance. All their cover has been exploded. They're less likely to actually rush and get anywhere where they have a shot on the Purgator or the Apothecary. They might try to plank the Justicar or the Vindicare, but that's a long-range shot, and they're in partial cover. So, like, a long-range autocannon shot, auto gun shot, against somebody in partial cover is no damage. because -2 for long range and -1 for partial cover means your auto guns aren't doing anything. So they're actually all pretty safe from the guys up by the crane and the ritual guy.
Yeah, it's really just about... and this is one of the things. It always looks worse at the start of combat.
Yep.
Because you haven't taken your turn yet. They get their,
Judged.
revealed, scramble into cover, maybe for an Overwatch or two. But then you have your entire turn to just think of it as a combat puzzle. As like, what do I do to solve these problems? And then you solve those problems and maybe take some chip damage and you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no stratagems.
No stratagems. The storm was a little bumpy on the way over here. By the same token, I don't really have a good place to move
At
this
once, Commander.
Purgator. But if they want to try to advance from their position, I can at least cover it. And he's in full cover, so he's safe there. Have to reload the Vindicare, and I can kill a couple more people with him next turn.
I mean, there is the possibility that they just accept the damage, run out, and strike him.
That's true. The AI usually doesn't like to stand out of the open.
No.
Also, the worst part, I think, are the creatures. Mostly because of what they just did. The Scourge is just an unmitigatable 3 damage. It's really ass. So they found cover. Yeah, so Justicar's gonna get shot a bit here. And like one of them shooting him for full damage, whatever. 1 damage, 2 to the armor. The second guy though is gonna get full damage. And that just means is he not? Did he spend all of his movement? Or,
He might spend all of his movement getting there.
Yeah, okay. So it's not nearly as bad. But creatures. Fuck creatures. And they're unavoidable 3 damage. It doesn't seem like much, but sometimes when things are tight, that really matters. Yeah, this is posting after I did the legendary stream, and I will continue to do that legendary stream if anybody tuned in, watched the VOD, whatever. That when APs are tight, or hit points are tight, or you're doing very, very stupid hubristic challenges, like only bringing 3 units on a mission,
Enemy that just deals 3 damage.
adds up after a while.
Yeah.
Especially if you, I don't know, don't take apothecaries.
I know you want to stab that guy with your Justicar.
Yes, I really do.
But
Melee disabled.
yeah. Normally it's not actually that big a deal because you can just shoot them with your bolter. But this is the weakness of ranged combat. You do less damage to everything that's in cover.
I
still think
the stairs were counting as full cover, wasn't
Ready
it?
to serve.
Yeah, I think that you could, if it came down to it, just like hide behind that shipping container and just blap that guy twice to kill him.
Yeah.
It's not the most ideal thing that leaves you open to other units.
Right. Because he disabled melee, I don't really have a good way of dealing with the Preacher again.
Another
So
one
it
down.
means he lives for another turn and another 3 damage Scourge.
No, it's quite interesting is the Librarian, which you don't... Wait, did you actually get a Librarian? I can't remember.
No, we don't have any of the
Yeah.
advanced classes yet.
Right. So the Librarian, which is one of the advanced classes, actually gets that ability, and it seems kind of weak.
Yeah.
But the same principle applies.
Destroy.
It is armor-piercing damage that you can do to anything, and it's actually even better when the Librarian gets it, because you can upgrade it to have infinite range.
And +1 damage, I think.
Yeah, so it becomes 4 damage instead of 3.
Moving.
And that's still not, like, the strongest thing that the Librarian can do, just being able to freely apply 4 damage across the battlefield. It's actually one of the weakest things. But, it's still
nice.
there.
Yeah.
And it is quite nice.
This one.
But it's also... Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That was fine.
Everyone's fine.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Glory to Zyphos.
It is one of those things that is asymmetrical in value.
Yeah.
The AI being able to whittle down my finite health pool with unmitigatable 3 damage attacks every once in a while is very valuable for the AI. It makes me have to heal. Let's assume I think I get 7 heal off of the Apothecary's ability. That just means every 2 times a creature gets Discourage Me is spending a heal off my Apothecary. I think my Apothecary is 7 willpower. So I can only heal like 3 times. Now I can gain more willpower throughout the fight, but that still means it's draining a considerable chunk of my resources like every time it just gets these unavoidable bits in.
Less than nothing.
And if it only happens once or twice, it's not bad at all. But here, where the Justicar was the only one in the area that could reach it and had his melee disabled, it means just the creature gets to live another turn, and things are, you know, it's erosion of resources.
Yeah, and you've got a timer going on where maybe you would like the Justicar in position to do something against, you know, maybe grenade those eyeballs.
Oh, I have a solution for that,
focusing
actually.
fire.
I think I was particular about where and how much ammo my units ended their turn with and at, just to make sure I didn't fuck up this ritual.
I am an instrument of vengeance.
We're just out of range, but I've got this. Also, free AP for moving.
Ah, yeah, Deadshot.
Deadshot.
That definitely solves that problem.
Deadshot solves this particular Limb Spawn scenario better than anything else I can think of.
Doesn't matter how much armor he has, if
Weapon
you
empty.
instant kill him.
Yeah. So that just makes that so much easier. Previous solutions are, you know, like Psionic Onslaught, the Silencer Cone Attack are all good AoEs to get through the eyeballs. Grenades, Rend the Unclean or other AoE melees can work. But Deadshot's just so much easier.
We previous video, we had one of those. Deadshot was already on cooldown.
Yeah.
With pleasure.
Deadshot starts with a 15 turn timer, which really means you're probably only getting one a mission. But every time the Vindicator kills something, it lowers cooldowns by 1. So you can get 2 of them off. In theory, more on a particularly busy and or long map.
Well, like if you take advantage of his potentially free pistol kills to finish people off, you can scoot his cooldowns quite rapidly.
Yes.
Oh, right. It's just the eyeballs.
Yep.
That's like, what is even still on the field?
Yeah, that was
Tainted
what I was
blades.
thinking. Oh no, the eyeballs are going to gouge us with their eyelashes.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean,
So
I'm sure there's like a Slaneshi something with razor-tipped eyelashes.
So I do actually need to kill these dumb eyeballs, or else I will be in combat mode for the rest of the match.
You don't even get willpower from these, do you?
No. So there are enemies that are too wimpy to get willpower from. These eyeballs, some of those like plant sentries we saw on the highway map, like I think 2
Give me
videos
a
ago.
target.
The groaned poxwalkers that come up with like 1 HP.
Titan! Another one down.
Units like that won't give us willpower, which is disappointing. I don't think the eyeballs even give me XP.
Targeting. Locked on. Time to reload. Understood.
But they do lower the
Ready to
cooldown
serve.
timer on the Vindicator.
Oh yeah, rapid reload.
Yeah.
I aim
It felt
true.
really bad loading up that new legendary save to stream and just realizing, oh, my guys have none of the things that are just quality of life enhancers.
I mean, it's starting over at level 1.
You know?
Targets eliminated.
I am here to
Like, we're still in the early game, and it's... remarkable how much power or quality of life for our units that we've gotten already. And I haven't even, like, begun to dig into the armory for, like, cool toys.
I mean, this is more or less the point where everybody's a squatty and you don't have any recruits anymore.
Dude, that only takes, like, shooting an alien once in XCOM.
Awaiting directions.
I mean, yeah. But it may
Well,
take a
original
couple of missions
XCOM.
to have your A and B missions.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking in the newer XCOM.
New
where,
XCOM. Yeah.
where you don't even get assigned a class.
Right. Yeah, okay, that is a much more apt analogy. I was thinking Julian Gollop XCOM, where it's like, you just need to exercise a primary stat once to get promoted to squatty, and then you could just be as shitty as a rookie. Also, this group of Nurgle, how did they get right there?
You don't see the intervening movement. Also, you got a really good ambush on them.
They went through that door and ended up there, and this tiny bit of, like, concealment offered by the big container that I just don't have visual on.
Blips, man.
Moving swiftly.
Oh, but that revealed them. Which I don't understand. The Purgator did not do that.
I really just liked that cultist who ran up to the door and kicked it.
Yeah, it's good. Like, this guy is way back here. He did not activate that group. So, there is mechanics here that I don't fully understand or am able to explain. Because nothing about my line of sight changed. Like, that Purgator took one square
It
movement.
took one step and
he's 30 tiles out. Like, he didn't do that. But still, the pod activated. It was like the pod knew they should have been spotted going from point A to point B, and then the Purgator moved and the game updated like, oh yeah, we should have been spotted. Scramble.
I mean, this might be something to specifically test if you're obviously not on a recorded video. Because I'm curious about this too. It seemed to me that the movement that you did was going to reveal them. And maybe the game saw that you did a movement that was going to reveal them, and as soon as you moved, it revealed them. But if you had done, like, only 3 or 4 squares in a single move, that might not have revealed them right away.
So I would think more of that if it was like XCOM 2 style. But because combat resets and refreshes your AP, and essentially a fresh turn starts when you reveal a group in Chaos Gate, my Purgator moved a step forward and then came to a dead stop, and then everybody's AP refreshed.
Well, that's what I mean. It triggered it as soon as you moved, because you had queued up a movement that was going to reveal it.
Yeah. But you get stopped where the reveal is normally. I mean, I see what you're saying. I don't think that's how it works, but I also don't have, code or the ability to refute it in detail.
No, I mean, I'm just guessing and spitballing. This is a sort of thing where it'd have to be like, take a save file.
Yeah.
Test this, load your save, test that.
Unleash me.
It's a sort of thing where, like, on the Legendary game, if you're streaming it, I don't actually know. Does Legendary do Iron Man style saves?
Often,
like,
as it
drop
does.
Enemy.
Could you drop a save in the middle of a scenario like that and then do some science?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that might be interesting to do.
Yeah.
If you get handed another one of these.
Commander.
Because it'd be extreme. Like, one of the other things is those people who clearly have blocked line of sight. If they move one square and it triggers, then it absolutely, I think would work the way that you described, where it thinks it should have triggered it, but it didn't.
And it waits for something to update it.
Yeah.
Or activate it. Yeah, okay. Just anything to... Ow. He punched me.
Does he actually have cover in that doorway?
The knight? From this direction, yeah. That was a complete miss.
That was your only chance.
Which is why I was happy. It is so rare to be able to make a melee attack on something and end your turn in meaningful cover. One thing I really wish is that we could melee from diagonals.
I get it. It's one of those things where I look at it and say it's a weird constraint, but it's just a constraint,
Yeah.
and you just work around it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it would be a more convenient game.
Terminated. Lotus.
Also,
Oh!
bad choice.
We slay the darkness.
What, the cultists or me? What?
Yeah, the cultist.
Oh,
He just ran up to Boris and immobilized him.
Unleash me.
oh shoot! Right, we were mocking the eyeballs for getting that, but
Yeah,
uh,
I mean it's been less than 3 turns.
yeah. Well, you say he made a bad choice. He has prevented Boris from going and stabbing that one in the warehouse.
Listening.
Yeah, but he might have lived if he hadn't done that. Of course, somebody else might have just shot him.
I mean, they don't get to live. There's
Might have
nowhere for
lived
them to go.
longer.
Yeah.
Oh,
They could actually
Mark
retreat.
acquired. Standing by for more
I was not
taunts.
expecting the explosion to be that large.
Yeah.
It always shocks me whenever anything takes out a wall.
Yeah. Walls really like exploding in this game.
It just the wall segments that blow up are huge.
Yeah.
Taking position.
And that wall definitely double wanted to explode because there's more explosives on the other side.
You're right. There's a lot of explosives over there. We're used to shooting these crates of power coils or whatever they are. You see the glowy blue pipe? That also explodes. Oh yeah, still the same turn. Boris is still immobilized.
Yeah.
Ugh. You know, I can think of a single mod or difficulty toggle that would really change the flow of combat. And that'd be the cultists or Nurgles are smart enough to use interactive environmental stuff as well as the player.
Chaos stares.
I feel like they'll do it accidentally.
Ready to kill.
Like a shot might trigger an environmental nearby,
Nah.
but I'm fairly certain that they don't. Like the knocking the statues down definitely doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But at the very least, I feel like they trigger them accidentally with like grenades.
Oh, with grenades accidentally, yeah, absolutely. But like, can you imagine taking cover behind like the power coils and then the cultists intentionally shooting like the box full of power cells?
I mean, it would just turn them into a deterrent
Yeah.
with the way the combat flow works. Those are no-go areas for you.
Or you'd be shooting them ahead of your time as you get there.
With haste.
Much like I do with explosives and Helldivers. Especially when my teammates are around. If anybody else has played Helldivers, our squad has weaponized the Spore Puff mushrooms. Just, it is not safe to go near them.
It just, if you're within 10 meters,
Somebody
and somebody
has a
else
gun to
notices,
them.
yeah, somebody will pop it and send you flying.
That's a very precarious place for reinforcements.
Yeah. If this were Apocalypse, you would just
Ready
shoot
to
that
open fire.
little, like, I don't even know what to call that architectural feature.
Yeah.
The OSHA non-compliant balcony.
Yeah.
Harn.
It's not a buttress. I don't know.
It's clearly something intended to, like, look over the edge and, you know,
Yeah.
Another
give a
seed.
speech or,
Ready to kill.
you know, get a good view.
At your
But
command.
man, there's not even remote
Moving
semblance
now.
of a railing.
Yeah. Okay. When you said it's like an overlook to give a speech, I started thinking of Shadow of War.
Yeah.
How rad like a 40k Shadow of War would be.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking. The fortress speeches. They're up on that. The little balcony.
Yeah.
But those have railings.
Do they?
Sort of.
I don't think they do, because remember cutscenes where they, punt a traitor or a spy off of, or throw someone off of it.
Death to the enemy.
But man, now I really want like Space Marine, but it's Shadow of War, and you're dealing with like chaos and Nurgles or whatever, and you kill them and they come back, and then they're traumatized or scarred or whatever.
Honestly, I just want anything but Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Make another game using Shadow of War technology that you're squatting on.
Slaughtered.
Stupid Nemesis system.
Yeah.
Standing ready.
I mean, I say that, but they did announce that they were doing something with the license.
Oh, I think they did,
Yeah, it's Wonder Woman.
Oh.
I'm trying to imagine how they're going to make Wonder Woman as fun and engaging as Shadow of War.
I don't know. I'm not big on comics, as I have said or posted about. Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody tells you about them, and it's hilarious.
Ugh.
That's why it's funny.
I wonder if Midnight watches my LPs.
Position secure.
If you do, I don't care about the comics or the movies, and I just die inside every time you fucking start sharing about that stuff.
Oh, but it's so great.
Ooh, okay, we can get a good statue drop, but I only have 1 AP. But there's a 3 HP guy like right over there. And it's like an 85% chance to get the lethal reflexes. That's like a 2+ roll, right?
Oh god, the hubris. You're gonna lose the statue drop.
No, see, 85%, that's a 2+. You never fail 2+. Fucking filthy elves never fail 2+.
You've sulked us too hard. Oh, okay. Well, you did.
No,
get
I
it.
made it. I made the 2+.
It's a good magic pixel.
Yeah.
Did those count as kills
Yeah.
for
He
his cooldown reduction?
Yeah, he had the icon of it. So he probably got 2 turns off. He might have another dead shot. Don't know. Can't remember.
I think we would know next turn if he did.
Yeah. Yeah, if he has dead shot next turn, yeah, obviously I'm just gonna reload dead shot this guy and we're out of here.
I mean, you might
Farm
not
some
do that
kills,
just to get some more kills.
Yeah.
Okay, remember what I was saying about they'll accidentally blow up
Targets
power
arriving.
coils?
Oh, yeah.
Fairly certain that's going to happen there.
Almost certain.
Keenly looking at where you take cover now.
Yeah. Yeah, that grenade is absolutely float the power coil up top. I don't know if it would get to the Vindicator,
is chosen.
but yeah, that's Purgy. Purgy gotta move. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
But hey, do you see where these guys are?
Oh, they're right up next to Ned. Can... I see you trying to get both of them. It looked like that one landed safely. Over right next... I mean, he died.
Yes,
but
Yeah, he
Commander.
where he actually landed looked like it was on safety, not into the infinite void.
I'll have to check the slow-mo MXC impact impact replay cam.
If I had to guess, it just like clipped him into the side of the floor rather than on top of it, because it was from a distance.
Right. So this is the bloom effect of aura weakness. Whatever. My Purgator doesn't melee. It doesn't. Let's get down here and shoot a cultist.
Yeah, can it do melee attacks? Minimum you can do is 1, anyways.
Your command.
You're meleeing
No.
with your Purge.
I think he would actually fail to do damage with the tackle. It might still
really?
have the square knockback, but
Well, I assume most of the time you're tackling, you're bonking people off an edge, anyways.
yeah, right.
Perfect shot.
Update.
We don't get to find out if that explosion would actually wreck the
Return to
Vindicator.
the edict for seeking
I was looking
nomination.
forward to that.
No,
Reload.
my Vindicator does not get wrecked by random explosions. Thank you. I'm fairly sure melee attacks can go to do 0 because you can inflict weakened on poxwalkers who normally do 2, and then they do 0, and then just walk up to you and just kind of stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Another Purgator.
Is this,
Oh, you're
this is
trying to
the-
save up Requisition, aren't you?
Yes, of course I am.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because Titan's Hammer looks very funny.
Oh, everybody loves a knockback hammer.
We already have knockback hammer though.
It may actually be the level 1 version of Titan Hammer.
Yeah, probably. Because the other one has 1 less damage. doesn't it?
Oh. Part of
Oh, the
way.
Grenadier armor. Yeah.
It feels so bad not immediately taking this.
It does. That's really great armor, especially if you have somebody with Grenadier traits. Purgator with like some sort of grenade trait, plus the abilities, plus that armor. And just lob stuff for days. But I only have 4 requisition. I'm trying to save it up. We're going to take the Purgator, look at their stats, and then return one of ours, probably. Hey, we finally made it to Ruthless Precision.
Now you're gonna slap on the focus crystals. Sure.
Yep. Yeah. Once we get this, we have choices of where to go. Justicars don't have a whole lot more. Well, I think now that we're starting to hit level 5, level 6, we should start making the class videos. There are some decent options over here to the right, which is just basically be better with guns, even equip a side cannon. Pockets are always good.
And at the point now we're at, taking the pockets is probably the best thing because you just slam that focus crystal in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen here. Top left has an AoE attack, which is decent for wrecking like Poxwalkers or the eyeballs. The top affects Aegis, and the top right is like a psionic shotgun attack, which is kind of cool, but it's a big investment for it for a guy that's usually spending his willpower on Wave the Flag or Honor the Chapter.
I mean, rapid reload is always just really nice to have.
Oh yes, that would be good too. Vindicator gets a spy mask. It inflicts exposed for infinite amount of turns, which makes something 25% more crit vulnerable.
That is one of the reasons why the Vindicator is super good, even in scenarios where you wouldn't think it was, like the upcoming boss fights.
Yes.
Being able to say you permanently have 25% more crit vulnerability is amazing, especially when combined with, say, I don't know, a Justicar with something that means he gets extra AP on crit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is very synergistic. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah. Yeah, and it lasts forever, and it affects everybody from, your Purgator is doing extra damage per shot, your Vindicator getting more precision targeting, or everything that's meleeing getting more precision targets on the crits.
Force.
I think he can do that every 6 turns, and cools down with his kills.
Yeah.
So, I need to remember to make more use of it. Short, things like that, are the kind of abilities that don't stick in my brain too well. Then I sometimes don't use them on cooldown, and I really ought to be.
Well, it
Or my
doesn't look
Gynobatic
super
Crab
great
Syndrome.
because you're doing that instead of doing damage, right?
No.
Oh, the shot actually does do damage as well?
I
Turn.
don't think it takes an AP.
Oh. Well,
I have
yeah.
to go back and double check. But
Yeah. I mean, even if something that he's... Well, yeah, it's something that he's going to shoot, but 25% more crit chance means more likely to get your, arm
Precision
shooting or
target,
eyeball
yeah.
shooting.
No, I think Spy Mask is just a 6-turn cooldown with no AP cost, much like Stealth Suit. Yeah. Rugen, get out of here.
I was wondering why you bothered to pick him up, and then I realized, oh yeah, right, he's free.
Yeah.
Just send him back home.
Well, I have trouble finding things in lists, and I got to compare to the other Purgators. Although he's deathless, like he loses. I don't know why I'm looking at these other guys.
Rugen.
That's because Rugen wasn't the one I just recruited. Yeah, but he's out of here.
Oh, when you it's Tarn.
Tarn.
Okay. And I actually didn't see what Tarn's trait was.
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, Deathless is just the worst. The only possible use for it is if you really wanted somebody to get all of the
Cybernetics.
Yeah, all the bionics.
Yeah.
And even then, there's only 4 or 5 bionic slots. They don't stack beyond that.
Yeah.
And you might get something that is 5% more melee crit on your Purgator.
Woo. Yeah. Not great.
I like the idea of bionics. I just think that
Oh yeah, me too.
they needed to be a little bit better.
Yeah. Or available by other means. But that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. Join us next time, and stay safe out there. Don't get eliminated.